What's up, guys?
Welcome to the Crypt.
What's up? Back here in the Crypt for another live show. Yeah. Here with my guy Chris, as always. And
what's up, guys?
As you can see, there is some changes. We're changing the background a little bit. If you notice the skeletons themselves, they've all got their own personalities now. We're messing with the lighting a little bit. We're trying to figure out a better lighting for ourselves because, too intense of light makes us look terrible. We got to be pretty for you guys. You don't want to stare at a bunch of uglies for an hour and a half or whatever.
Make it look like more cryptish.
Well, and I like the glow to it all. I feel like it
word.
definitely has a better glow to it. When you have two of the tense lighting, it just makes everything just seem weird. It's like you're in like a CVS at like 1 a.m. or something.
Hi, Ann.
Hi, Ann.
Welcome back. As you notice, everything has changed a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, we're just moving some things around and just getting the studio situated. Some things will change each time probably until we actually get it like exactly how we want, which will probably be never.
Never.
So
we're always gonna do something.
There's always gonna be one little thing we're gonna tweak. So
right. Heck, we might even paint the walls on this. No, we're not gonna get into that.
We're gonna get a green screen. We're just gonna put a big green screen behind us, and we're just gonna Photoshop the studio in.
Right.
It's gonna look amazing. It's gonna look like we're on like the Star Trek Enterprise or something. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah. Beam me up.
Yeah, just everybody. We're gonna be getting into a lot of different topics tonight. One of the things we want to talk about tonight is some like deep sea creatures and cryptids, and some of the lore, some of the things that have been researched, some of the things that are obviously just like, okay, well that definitely couldn't exist, or maybe
Right.
there's no definites, But we definitely want to get your opinions on a lot of stuff tonight. We'll kind of let people get in here real quick because we know a lot of you are just kind of pouring in. I know we said 9:30, and I think we went live just about that time. So If you guys, as always, if you have any questions for the night, just pop those in the comment section. Any stories, anything like that. We want to always have our interactions going on. So
all right. And right now I'm just getting the word out there for some of the guys. Don't mind me right now. Don't you like it when you share something to a group? Pending admin approval.
That's how it always works.
It's not porn, people. Trust me.
When I have to like put stuff on Reddit or anything like that, you're not allowed to like post links and stuff. It's really weird.
That is weird. Oh, who else just joined us?
Who do we got popping in there?
I don't know.
Send us a little message.
It shows 2, and I know I'm one of them on my phone, so that way I can read the messages you guys send us. Or just say hello if you're watching. We don't mind. Say hello. You want to do a tarot card pull?
Yeah, let's just do the shuffle now, and then maybe we'll do the pull in a little bit. We'll just get it shuffled up for now, though. Make sure you're putting that intention in. Anytime you're doing any kind of tarot pull, you got to really, you gotta give the card some kind of insight to what you're looking for out of it. So that's a big part. A lot of people just want to shuffle it up and deal it like it's poker, and it's not that. You got to really give the card something to work with.
I really suck at poker.
Oh, it's hilarious because I actually
have a poker deck.
No, I pulled out my poker set and got everything separated. I was thinking maybe down the road sometime with a couple of lucky fans, we could do a poker night. I got a good idea of how to make that work, So
that could
just
work.
a maybe like 30 minutes of poker or something silly like. Or just we're still gonna talk about all this different subjects, but it was something I was thinking about because I got a really nice Joker poker set. So the Joker poker.
We got jokers.
Yeah, jokers all over the place, man.
Right.
A couple of jokers.
Exactly. Oh, Ann said hi, everyone. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Ann.
Oh, we got a third one dropping in. Just shoot a hi or any questions. If this is the first time here, ask a question.
Yeah,
we're always answering.
Yeah, we're always up for interactions. That's one of our favorite parts of this whole show. What was that? Our second or third show, we had so many interactions. It was literally the whole show was just questions and stories from everybody we were talking to.
If people don't know about us, share our stream to other
share
people.
with your friends. I'm sure some of you guys are, if you're in this kind of mindset, if you are into the paranormal stuff like we are, you have some like-minded friends, so throw us that shout out to those guys as well. We're looking to talk with all you guys.
Guess who just joined us?
Uh-oh.
Your mom.
My mom. Hi, Mom. And I'm always glad. My mom has been very loyal for these past shows and stuff, and she's always popping in. And if you check out our Sunday show, my mom actually was called in for a guest. Yep, yeah. She told a story and everything. If that's something you guys are comfortable with, we wouldn't mind having a call in for another story tonight. So just something to think about, And thanks for everybody who's popping in and out. We're always glad to get everybody who interacts with us and who checks out our show. If you haven't checked it out, we did put a clip video up of last week's episodes and stuff. So all the live shows we did up until Saturday, I consider Sunday the first day of the week because it is supposed to be the first day of the week. So that Sunday show will be up on this coming clip show, but we did put a clip up show. It ended up coming out to be about an hour 20, hour 25, but all the things are different stories we had with you guys from that first week. Some of our best content of us interacting and the stories we were telling, and just a lot of fun. So go check that clip video out. Give us a like and subscribe to the YouTube. And if you have checked out the YouTube and you don't have an account, just pop on there real quick and really check that out. And we really need those likes and subscribes on there because it helps us attract more attention so we can have more people for these conversations.
So if you're a big fan or a follower for a long time on the Facebook, go ahead and watch the videos over there because some of them are not here on Facebook. Yeah, we have some on the Facebook, and then we do certain things on the YouTube. Yes. We try to always share stuff. So if it's something you don't see on the Facebook, just check for a link on our feed, and I'm sure you'll see something linked to the YouTube. For that. So always something. So always keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. We're doing our shuffling up for our tarot card read. Each episode, we do a tarot card read to kind of get an insight, to give us a message, some kind of guidance for our show, because we believe in the energies that are sent around us, and we believe a lot of that stuff. Real quick, I do want to get into a serious thing. Speaking of energy, if anybody has been here for last week's show, our friend Belinda, she has been a really good part of. She was actually the first person who interacted with us and stuff. Our first night. She experienced a loss over the past couple days and stuff, and is dealing with some family stuff. So if everybody can send their good energy that way, that would be wonderful, because I'm sure we'd love you, Belinda. Yeah, Belinda's been such a great part, and so just positive vibes to Belinda. To if everybody could throw that out there. But getting back to it, when we have those interactions with everybody and that stuff flows, that's how we really get a good show for you all and everything, and anytime you're doing a tarot pool, you always want to make sure you're putting good intention into that. And so Chris has shuffled up. I've shuffled up. We're going to go ahead. We're going to set this off to the side for a second. We'll pull that card here in a little bit. And as always, we'll explain the card, explain what kind of meanings that card has, and then explain what we think the message is for us. Because when you're doing tarot readings, it's not going to be the same. It's not a universal message for everybody. It's more, you have to put your intention into that, and then you get your own personal message. Some people do it for others on a live stream. You can do that kind of stuff. And once I'm more practiced up, I would have no problem doing some live tarot readings and stuff like that. But you also have to make sure that intention, that even if you're interacting with somebody through a live feed, you need that intention, you need that. And that's what we're always putting in when we're shuffling up. It's not just us just blindly shuffling. We're putting some thought. We're putting some of ourselves into that shuffle, so. Because a couple of those the last couple ones admit pretty strong messages. We've gotten 2 pretty good set messages from those so far that have really they've been pretty clear, and sometimes it's not always going to be clear. Sometimes you got to look for that meaning, but we did have a couple of very clear signs. So hey, to start off the show, my friend, cheers to another good show. Cheers to everybody out there. Yes, we love our alcohol. And if you wonder why we have a beverage every time we're doing the show, both of us are kind of nervous sometimes when we go into this. So it's a lot easier to loosen up, to have a drink real quick and just get ready for the episode. So
That's why we usually have a beer or something while we're doing these kind of shows, because it really makes it easier for the interactions and stuff, because I can be a nervous Nelly sometimes. So
same here.
Definitely something I try to watch out for, I see a couple of people in the YouTube. I see a couple of people in the Facebook. Why don't we get a question or a message from somebody?
Anybody in the Facebook or YouTube want to throw us a message, or first time here, want to ask us a question, we have no problem answering again.
Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing possibly a sigil creation tonight, just teaching a sigil and how to write that, and doing one on our parchment paper here. We're also going to be talking about cryptids a little bit later. We're going to be talking about specifically deep water or water cryptids, things that have been reported.
Like pirate lore. And
pirate lore, sailors.
Yep.
One of the things that has nothing related to the cryptid element of it, but sailors were, because they studied the stars and stuff, they were really into a lot of that kind of, and astrology and certain things, and used it to benefit. Christopher Columbus once tricked a whole group of indigenous people because he knew that an eclipse was coming, so he used his knowledge of the eclipse. Yeah, he used his knowledge of the eclipse to actually trick them into thinking that he had some kind of divine knowledge. And that's some of the stuff from history where just knowing something like that could make you seem like a prophet in certain areas, So definitely those kind of things you got to watch out for. So if anybody has a question or a story, I know Chris has a story he's going to be reading to us tonight. I'm really excited for that, because he was really he was reading over that and making sure he had everything correct earlier. And it's a story from a family member, right? Or no, from the
couple of followers that we had message us in the past.
So some stories that we've actually received, some from some of our fellow followers in the past and everything. Some of the people, just like you guys, who have been nice to the show and just nice to the page over the years. So, and if anybody has anything, like I said, throw a comment in there. If you want to remain anonymous and you want to send it to us in like a DM or a private message on the Facebook or something, or something like that, we would could read it as an anonymous story too. If you want to get a story out there, but don't want to put your name to it,
you can do that right here from my phone. If you want a message, instant message on the
just page, direct message on the Facebook or something,
and we'll answer it for you,
and we'll just read it off. Just make sure you put a comment on there that you want to remain anonymous.
We don't mind.
We like telling the stories that you guys give us, because we've already been telling a lot of our stories and some of our best already. And when we get your guys' stories, it really adds something to the whole mix.
It's not as taboo anymore.
Yeah, no, you can definitely talk about these things and stuff. So, let's get into the cryptid talk. There's a lot of different things that we're talking about with these deep water stuff, and we were talking about earlier how some actual creatures, some real things that exist, could be perceived as cryptids because they're not normal looking things, or the size of the object or the size of the creature.
There's social distance too. Some of these sea creatures.
Think about the things like the giant squid and stuff. Okay, giant squids, we thought they were extinct. We found out that they're not. We have found some, and the ones we have found are considered smaller on the scale. So if you had a creature that at its base was like 30 to 40 feet long, and then it had tentacles that were 50 to 60 feet long, and that was like grabbing at your boat, you would definitely think that is some kind of crazy mythological being.
It wouldn't even fit in our crypt, our basement.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit in most people's basements or houses. You'd have to have like a mansion with a basement to fit something that size. That's a very large creature. And when you think about the muscles and stuff, because you see the octopus, the octopi. Actually, I think there's 3 different plural pronunciations of that. But the octopi who attack other creatures and stuff, they have so much muscle and strength in those tentacles, and we've been talking.
They don't have bone structure.
Yeah.
They can hide in the smallest spaces.
And what was that one that you were talking about? We had the Ningen from.
Out there in Antarctica and all that by Iceland. And
the Ningen is like a Japanese one, and that one is the mer people, or it's kind of perceived. They are like almost like whale humanoid people and stuff.
That are underwater. There's a I don't know if it's confirmed photograph, but you never know these days with all the photo editing technology. Someone could have faked it, so I don't know if it's for real. Nijin. Well, that's how you say it. So it's a underwater humanoid that can breathe underwater. Looks like a human. That's what they say.
Yeah, and the Ningen
and bluish, kind of grayish skin.
They were definitely one of those things that.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe. They've inspired multiple things. There was actually it's called, I think, a docu-fiction is actually how they what they categorize it as, but it was called The Mermaids the Body Found, and they put it on like Animal Planet and things like that. But when it was originally airing, they kind of passed off as it was supposed to be this documentary about they found real like mer creatures, and it turned out to be just a whole hoax. It was a whole fiction thing. So
there's so many different variations of the merman.
Yeah,
especially over in the Asia side.
And there's a lot of people have said that either like manatees or creatures like that could have been what people were mistaking as mer people. And it could have been something human like. Yeah,
especially up there that a Nijin could be mistaken.
And I'm gonna point it out. Say you're on a boat with 60 other dudes. You haven't seen a woman in months. And you see something that looks somewhat woman-like on a rock or something like that, you're going to possible because you haven't seen a real woman
I'm sure months. Everyone that's seen Pirates of the Caribbean when they're trying to capture one of those mermaids.
Yeah.
And they were trying to drown you and sacrifice you. A lot of legend there.
There could be something out there like that.
Could be.
But a lot of the things that have been reported usually have some kind of more realistic explanation, and I know we usually talk ghosts and stuff like that, but that's not what we're limited to. We look at all the abnormal things.
We do say paranormal and unexplained.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of the people who have been inspired us look into. They don't look into just one singular subject or object. They look into multiple things because that's how you find more information.
Right. Check over to YouTube, see what's cracking over there.
Yeah, and I got it up here. The chat's up here too, so I can keep an eye out. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Joe says hello, everybody. I don't know why it's not showing up on yours, but
yeah.
So, are we doing okay, Joe? We're not spinning? Oh, it's fine. Huh.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
But at least it's showing up on there. Well, I'll check it on my phone. So
yeah, at least you have the comments there.
So any questions? Anybody guys interested in the cryptids and whatnot? We can not talk about the water ones because they can be mistaken for a lot of different things.
Well, and they go back to biblical times.
Yes,
and before that,
the Leviathan.
The Leviathan, exactly.
300 miles long. Come on.
In the Leviathan, in certain religious texts and in certain lore, they are considered to be older than like God. They're considered to be elder beings before like the creation of our universe as it is.
If anybody's seen Dragon Ball Z, because I'm an old cartoon nerd,
and as
that was a Leviathan type creature.
Yeah, dude. Shenron from Dragon Ball Z, definitely. And if you've ever seen Supernatural, they do a whole season where they talk about like these Leviathan like creatures and stuff. And I know some people don't really dig the Supernatural show because it's kind of one of those like CW polished, like everything's got to be pretty shows, but they've gone into some really interesting supernatural and paranormal subjects into that show. So there are some fun things about that. And so,
Joe says there's no spin, so we're still good. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, dude.
Anybody got any questions want to throw down? Anything, just let us know. Any curiosities we can talk about, unexplained, paranormal, cryptids? We're into that stuff.
We talk about it all. And we've been doing a lot of watching of like documentaries. Like we just watched the documentary in the Skinwalker Ranch. Yep. And I mean, if you don't know the Skinwalker Ranch, it's one of the most observed and reported on locations in any kind of paranormal field.
The Unicorn,
Bigelow from Bigelow Industries, he had occupied that land for a long time and was doing a lot of different research and stuff like that. It's now to a new owner, but it's been reported on because there's a lot of Native American from the Ute tribe who's out there, and that's UTE. They have a lot of stuff. They won't talk about the skinwalkers because it's considered taboo to talk about a skinwalker.
Something bad might happen.
Yeah, it's considered if you talk about it, it's actually going to bring it to your location, or it's going to attention of that skinwalker.
Oh, so here's another thing. Well, I was watching a story.
By the way, real quick, just toss it out. It's called Hunt for the Skinwalker. The guy who does the documentary, Jeremy Corbell, he can be a little hard to listen to sometimes, but overall, the documentary does have a lot of good information and footage from that location. And to see a location that has not only just the Skinwalkers, but it has Bigfoot, alien UFO sightings, ghosts and like paranormal stuff, poltergeist, the ground just acting really weird to a certain situations and stuff. So definitely worth a watch if you want to spend a couple hours
it's
chilling.
Pretty interesting that because there's that wolf one that they try to shoot so many times.
Yeah,
and it was like not your average wolf.
It was considered like the size of a dire wolf,
which is extinct for 10,000 years.
And the man shot it 3 to 4 times with a .357 Magnum. Now, a .357 Magnum, if you shoot a wolf within 7 feet of range with a .357 Magnum, it should put that wolf down. Not saying that wolf wouldn't have a little reaction, but it's going to put that wolf down, and that wolf's not going to come after you.
Also, he shot him with the hunting rifle, too.
Yeah, and he shot it with the hunting rifle as well.
A piece of skin that found smelled like decay.
Yeah, and it didn't react when he was literally blasting. And each shot, he walked up closer and shot, and it wouldn't react at all. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about these skinwalkers, because it's considered to be like kind of almost like necromancy, where you're making a deal with a darker entity to
shaman.
To get certain power and stuff like that. So a shaman who went down that darker path could end up maybe making that deal to end up being a skinwalker, you know. So Skywalker, he's gonna be able to use the Force,
the Force, Luke. I am your father. Anyway, yeah, because it's interesting. I mean, how much activity in different, not just skinwalkers, UFOs, aliens, paranormal, poltergeist.
Yeah.
And what did we talk about? There's got to be a portal right there.
That's one of the biggest theories about the location is there's said to be a portal on location. So that's why it's so interesting, because if you had some kind of like interdimensional portal, anything could walk that knows about it could walk in and out of there, or maybe if it doesn't know, somebody could accidentally walk through there, you know?
All these stories I'm starting to hear from this is a ridiculous amount of activity there. It just, wow. It's very amazing. Of course, we probably will never see it because it's highly guarded like a mini Area 51.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Sorry, as I was switching the chat over, I'm going to keep the YouTube up here. For some reason, on our monitor, we're not getting the chat for the Facebook, and I want to make sure I have that myself, too, so I can talk with you guys. So I get mine pulled up and everything.
And it's like, how you guys doing? We're doing good tonight. We had a good rest yesterday.
We definitely had a good rest yesterday. We had to we've gone pretty hard, and it's stuff outside of just the show you're seeing, you know, like we were doing some editing and stuff, and then doing a lot of work in here, and not just stuff on the like set part of the stuff we got on here, but like the background and getting certain things done. We're always like I said, one of the things we did recently is we changed up our lighting a little bit, so that's been a big thing.
It looks a little more
I think it's a warmer lighting. I think it's a better, you know, you can still see a lot of the colors of things really quite nice. And you can see the map back here pretty good. We got the map of the United States back here. So we're just trying to change things up, you know, give you guys something better to look at while we're talking, because we can ramble on no matter what. But now that we actually have a video element over just the podcast, it's really nice to have something good to look at.
Because this used to be called By the Bear Rail used to be a podcast. We used to talk and ramble all the time too. And we want to do this live with you guys so you can interact with us like you're here chatting with us.
Yeah.
And we love that.
We definitely do, because the interactions, the chats and stuff, that's definitely it makes us happier, because then we can tell your guys' stories and kind of gauge our experience with your guys' experiences. And then when you guys, you know, you guys can comment on any of the stuff you've seen. We've got so many videos out there. You could definitely.
Joe calls us just listening to Professors Chris and Tyler. I wouldn't call. Do we got a degree yet?
No.
We have a degree in having fun. But...
I definitely got a degree in having fun, but I wouldn't.
Well, thank you, Joe, though. We try.
I will profess my love for the paranormal and all those kind of things for sure, because it's definitely. I have the passion to explore things like that.
That's my research notebook and story notebook and location. I mean, I'm probably gonna need a couple more of these by the time I die.
Yeah, luckily composition books are cheap, you know.
Yes, they are.
But no, Joey, we appreciate the comments and everything.
Hi, Erica.
Erica,
Ask us a question. Share your experience.
Yeah, somebody toss out a question. Give us an experience we can work with. Let's pull that card right now. So
go ahead, pull that card
pull the tarot
since we
card.
have people.
Yeah. So I'll split the deck and we will pull this card.
We already, for those one just joining us, we already
shuffle up. We put our attention into that. Yes. So let's pull this card, and boom! All right, the Ace of Pentacles in the upright position. Now, as I always do, I'm gonna read the definition of that card, what it means and everything, and then Chris and I will sit here and think of what that means to the show. So I'll put this up here real quick. And the Ace of Pentacles in the upright position.
And Anne says, love watching you guys. We appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. We
really appreciate
do.
all the love.
Because we love having you guys to talk to. Yes. And, you know, we come in here, we're not expecting to know what's going to happen, who's going to show up. No. But when you guys come and you guys interact with us, and the love is always wonderful. So thanks, guys, for that. But for the Ace of Pentacles.
Yeah. Erica, you need to get your butt down here one time so we can have, because people are wondering about you too. So we talk about you a lot on this show. So one of these times, you're part of this team too. We love your stories as well. And you taught me a lot, especially sky watching.
All right. For the Ace of Pentacles, the upright meaning is financial new beginning, new financial opportunities, new job, new business, money, investment, saving, prosperity, security, stability, abundance, manifestation.
Stability sounds like
so the general meaning.
New job when we get past this, whatever's going on.
Yeah, the jobs, maybe new financial opportunities and something making this show into something more. That could definitely be something that it could be trying to tell us in that. In general context, the Ace of Pentacles represents new beginnings and prosperity. It's a very card to get in a tarot spread, and it signifies starting something new, which will be very positive for you. You should be feeling very optimistic when this card appears, and it brings with it a feeling of positivity, inspiration, and new exciting energy.
Yeah,
this minor arcana card also signifies abundance in all areas of life and security and stability. The Ace of Pentacles tarot card can indicate that you will be ready to make your dreams a reality. The time is coming for you to manifest your goals, achieve your dreams, and realize your potential.
Wow.
You'll be motivated and ready for the challenge. And we have been extremely motivated.
We've been
put so
busy.
much work over the past week into this
time
week.
And money.
Yep. By the way, guys, we have in one of the upcoming episodes, I'd expect it maybe and what were we saying we're going to do episodes?
Tomorrow we're going to take a rest because we're planning on, we want to edit an investigation video.
Yep. And then we're going to do a Thursday and Friday show.
And depending on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah. And for the Thursday or Friday show, one of those, I should be receiving a new package in that I just ordered. And it's going to be filled with a bunch of spices and herbs that are for blessing and ritual things. So we'll be explaining a lot of that. And we'll be talking about a lot of that. And really, really be engaging with you guys because...
Your mom says set looks great.
Thanks,
we've
Mom.
Been working.
Yeah, we've been
You notice the difference?
Yeah.
It's a different from each show. Every time we do a show, it's always something different.
Yeah. And we always are trying to like push things forward and to get everything...
We have lights and the skeletons.
Big shout out to Jen, though.
Yes.
You know, his wife definitely hooked us up with some new things for the set. And she's been really awesome, and she's actually provided a lot of cool stuff for us. So some of it you can't see, but some of it is actually making an impact.
Shout out to my wife.
Yeah. But we did that tarot reading. We got that out of the way. We've been talking about that. If anybody, like we've been talking about, if
oh, definitely.
Yeah, Erica.
Yeah, Erica, we miss you too.
Erica, we're doing another show Thursday or Friday. So maybe one of those shows you could come over. We do them around the same time when Talia goes to bed, about like 9:30.
I always
you're here for a little bit beforehand and hang out with the family, and then you get hang out with us for a little bit of the show.
Can scooch over. We got plenty of room.
We have room for it for sure.
But you're gonna have to sit in one of those old kitchen chairs. Sorry.
Yeah. No thrones. Sorry.
No thrones.
We got our own chairs now.
Yeah.
We're big boys. Them Baps boys. If you guys have seen the best video, I did a like a Dukes of Hazzard kind of reference. And I called us them Bat Boys because it's all about our videos and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been fun. And Erica, I really want to have you over here because I know you have plenty of stories. I think people would like to see you as an interaction, and anybody who has been familiar with the page for longer than I've even interacted with it.
As me, it started with me and you, Erica.
Exactly, and you're just
you've been a big part of this too.
Exactly, you're just as big of a
all
part
of our
as
creepy
both of us.
adventures.
Yeah, and so we definitely want to get you over here for a show. All right, come on, guys. Give us a story. Give us something to go with. Yeah. We want to be talking about you guys and talking about some stuff.
Yeah, ask us a question, a story you have.
I want to save the sigil writing for a little bit later in the show.
Big boy chairs, Joe says.
Yeah, I call them our big boy chairs. It's actually comfortable. And
we're camping we're camping in our crypt.
That's all they are. It's just like the nylon camping chairs.
But they're comfortable.
But they are comfortable, and they're better than the wooden chairs we were using for the couple episodes before. So
right where we were higher up now.
Yeah, I like these definitely better. So if people don't comment on my stomach, what kind of stomach?
Please. You have time to catch up. I'll give you time.
Yeah, I'll be trying to catch up. I hit the mask.
Hit the creepy clown mask behind.
Oh man, so we definitely have that coming up with the sigil writing. Like I said, some of the new additions to the table, we have a nice little bell. We have some wonderful polished stones, tumbled stones that Jen gave us and everything.
We have a chalice with the awesome
Indians baseball in there
because we're close to Cleveland.
And we had the monster sign up there, but we got a couple of pucks up there. And if you don't know why they say the Lake Erie monster or the Cleveland monster, Lake Erie has said to have its own cryptid monster called Bessie, which is a reference to Nessie, the Loch Ness monster. And it was a cryptid that was either a serpentine creature or a prehistoric creature, like what the Nessie is said to be. So
Erica said she'll bring her own big boy chair.
Yeah, bring your own big boy chair.
Hey, don't forget. See?
Well, you definitely got to come over and have some stories with us.
All right, someone throw a story down. Anybody? Question, story.
Yeah, a question either, too. Just something we can definitely, something we could start the conversation with you guys. Because as soon as a question pops up there, then people start answering in the chat and stuff. And, so that's really nice.
Or share this stream with other people that
you know what? Let me ask you guys a question. Okay, so I'll flip it on you.
Yes.
Who is somebody or what is a show that has inspired you to possibly look at the paranormal or things that aren't exactly what other people might consider?
And please don't say Ghost Adventures. We don't pull Zach around here. Sorry.
But just anything, like we met Steve Gonzalez from the Ghost Hunter and Ghost Nation.
Now Ghost Nation.
Yeah, now Ghost Nation.
I like what they're going with that direction.
Yeah, and that was a big thing because when I was younger, you know what? Some of the stuff that I watched on Ghost Hunters or Ghost Hunters International, I'm like, okay, that definitely doesn't seem realistic at all. But I really appreciate certain members. And he was one who I always felt like he was really trying to find some kind of answer out there.
I really looked up to him. It was nice meeting him.
It was a wonderful opportunity. You'll see we'll have probably a picture of him and us popping up in the studio.
I have one up in my little desk area.
Yeah, and we got signed shirts from him and everything, which is really awesome. That was we met him at Parapsychon, which was at the Mansfield Reformatory. Year. Yep, that was a wonderful
Apparently this year, because of what's going on, that has been canceled. Just to let you know, Erica, the one in May 2nd and 3rd has been canceled. We don't know about the West Virginia one yet. We will keep you updated on that one.
We just have to see what happens with what's going on.
What's going on in the world. We won't go more into that.
But no, it's been really interesting because there's a lot of people out there. We talked about Josh Gates. He was another big influence. Like the exploring old archaeology and the cryptids. He searched for plenty of monsters.
First started watching, it was just one show. Then all of a sudden he comes out with this. Or the one that really got me and kind of brought me to tears was, because it's kind of sad but kind of cool. The investigators, what happens to us after we die. He did a whole, just one long series on that, and which is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
how different cultures handle that.
Well, because there's a lot of speculation and a lot of cultures much older than stuff, and we do our own research. We study multiple cultures. We study lots of different things, especially with the paranormal. And it's really nice to see some of the things that we found that have provided some not maybe answers, but just a little clarity to some of our investigations.
Yeah, we always try to debunk it as much as we can. Then you just go as far as, wow, that is unexplained. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Like disembodied breaths and that baby scream or whatever scream that was. Or
that Squire's castle was weird,
Erica knows this, the EVP from Molly Stark.
Yep.
And the shadow crawler figure from Molly Stark.
A lot of interesting things, you know, a lot of, we've been to plenty of locations and we've had some investigations where it's like, okay, we didn't get what we wanted out of that, but we had some kind of thing that made us want to come back always, you know. No location we've ever been to have we ever gone to and be like, oh, well, there's no reason to ever come back to this place ever again. You know, it's never
you
like
go
that.
Towards the source. You don't run away from the source.
Exactly. We're investigators. You know, that's what we do. You know, I think back to a younger version of myself who would wander around the woods at night or things like that. I mean, like, I was afraid of things. Like, I remember the first time I watched M. Night Shyamalan's Signs, you know, with Mel Gibson. I literally lived in a trailer right next to a cornfield. And my buddy Chad was over there. We were watching it with my mom, and she's in the chat. She can actually remember this. I was so afraid I wouldn't even go to the bathroom, you know?
Your mom has a good question. We talked about this with my stepsister's kids.
Yeah.
On that, I know you were here.
And we talked about it a little bit on the show here too.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit on the show.
With my own daughter.
They can hear and see. But when my stepsister's grandpa passed away, it was that night or the next night that, because at the time my nephews were 2 and 3, and they thought there was a monster in the room. But in fact, it was grandpa visiting them, make sure they're okay.
And this is something to think about on that. So as we get older, we have all these people and things around us telling us, making us think what we know is what is actually like reality, what might exist, things like that. The older you get, the less open-minded you usually are, because you're starting to make up your own opinions about things. So a child, say 2, 3 years old, they haven't formulated those same opinions. They don't have the mind to formulate those same opinions.
Talia's age.
Exactly. And she sees some things.
She does see something.
We watch that baby monitor sometimes. We were talking about this with Belinda one night. But I watch my daughter's baby monitor sometimes, and I see her staring at a corner. She'll talk with it, and the interaction seems like as if I was standing right there talking with her, you know? So it's a little weird when you see now kids are kids, they're gonna do weird things, but when your mind isn't flooded with all these ideas, what's real, what's not, what could be, what's not, like that some people think that certain kids' imaginary friends are actually just spirits they're interacting with, you know, that's a common theory in that realm. So I definitely think children's minds are much more open
to that.
And it's as you become an adult, you close your mind more to those kind of things.
Like your daughter and the nephews back then when they're 2 and 3, they didn't understand it, but they thought, like you said, they thought it was a monster, because what little 2, 3-year-olds like, oh, there's a monster on our bed or in my closet.
Yeah.
And it could have been all this time. Now we think about when we were kids, say, oh, there was a monster. Could have been just a shadow person checking in on us, or even an alien cloaked checking in on us.
Yeah. You never know what's out there.
Or even the spirit guide or a deceased family member that we didn't know as a kid coming to check on us.
Well, and here's another thing. We were talking about fairies one time, because one of your dream vacation or dream places to investigate would be Ireland, you know, because like the fairies, the banshees, and all the different things out there. I
also talked about, I don't know, we talked about this on the podcast before. I talked about those little goblins and stuff from Iceland.
Yeah, because you lived in Iceland for
a while. I was a kid. I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of folklore that comes from, actually, believe it or not, from Norway and all that, from the Vikings.
Yeah.
And it was brought over to Iceland.
So now think about that. If you're to ask like the average person you know, so ask any person you know, like, hey, and I mean, some of you are probably going to be a little bit different because you have some more like-minded people, you know, like yourselves that you interact with, but just somebody who like you interact with maybe at like the grocery store or something like that. Ask them if they believe in fairies. Ask them if they believe in trolls. Ask them if they believe in goblins. Anything like that.
Banshees.
Almost every single person you ask is going to say no, like a very hard no. Like it's not something. So if you in your mind don't believe in that at all, how are you ever supposed to see something? If it wants to hide from you, it's going to hide. I mean, there are creatures who
hide and seek champs.
We're still discovering new creatures all the time, new species of things, all kinds of things like that. So if you're not open-minded to something like that, then you're never going to find it.
That's why we open with the sea ones, because they can more be misunderstood. Because what'd you say about 90% of the ocean we haven't explored?
We haven't explored 90% of the ocean. I mean, there's areas of the ocean we have no
or
clue.
we can't even get down to.
We can't even explore most of it because the pressure is so intense that there's no way we could actually even explore it. So it's like, with that being said, how are we to say there's not these giant creatures? Now, science will tell you, things like certain pressures and food source and stuff couldn't sustain a creature like that. Also, we have parts of this world that are still unthawing.
Yeah.
Or still thawing. And so
the north and the south.
When something like that, maybe it froze a prehistoric creature. What if a megalodon, a shark that has been recorded to possibly be 100 feet long? What if a megalodon was frozen in an Arctic area,
and all of a sudden
just, and with, they're working with cryogenic freezing because they believe that is a real, and many animals have been frozen for a period of time and been showed. There are some bacteria and stuff that have been frozen for thousands, hundreds of thousands of years, and they've shown it's still living once they bring the heat. So there's no reason to believe that couldn't happen, especially with an aquatic creatures that live in some of those areas where life is already kind of hard to maintain, so it's just things to entertain while you're thinking about cryptids and monsters and stuff. Obviously
go bumping at night.
I don't think there's, Gojira. I don't think there's a Godzilla. I don't.
That was a science experiment gone. And the nuclear testing.
I don't think there's a King Ghidorah or a Gamera or any of that kind of those kaijus out there. I don't necessarily believe those kind of things exist, but to think that possibly there's a very deep sea serpent that could reach like, let's say like miles long or something like that. I think that could be possible. Yeah. I think that could be very possible.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you think, deep sea creatures are a possibility when it comes to some of the things we've already found,
Dan says, I'll try to watch when I can. Oh yeah. Take your time. We're not pressuring you to watch. You can watch at a later time. That's why we do these. You might not catch the live stream. You can catch it later because they'll be here on the Facebook.
The video is always going to be there,
and on YouTube.
And you can still comment. We see the comments no matter if you're interacting.
Yeah, you can still comment
live
later
or not.
Yeah.
And if you miss shows and you're like, oh man, I don't have time to sit down and watch the whole show, just go check out the clip video. You can maybe check the part of the clip of the episode you missed, because it'll show you kind of the best of that.
The best one, if you want to rewatch, it'll still be on Facebook, but the best ones. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe there. We'll answer questions there too.
Yeah. We've been trying to put a good effort into our Facebook and our YouTube, making sure that
we're slowly getting up there. We're working hard. So any other?
My mom says she definitely thinks there are things under the sea that could be unexplained.
Yes.
And it makes sense. We
are other worlds.
We talk about space and we talk about things out there that could exist. We live on Earth, we're on this planet, and we don't even know what could potentially exist on our own planet. And that's scary too.
Why did the pirates believe in King Triton and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute.
And there's some things that could explain that, but there are monsters that have been described that don't make sense. The Kraken comes to mind,
Well, that pretty much, it could have been a larger squid creature back then that's now gone extinct.
There's some stories on Krakens where it's like it could create a whirlpool in the water that could suck in like 5, 6, 7 battle or pirate ships at once, you know. So if you think about like the giant squid, it would need a mouth that would have to be, you know, hundreds of feet wide.
Pirates of Caribbean reference there.
And that is definitely. But
Erica goes 100%. There are terrifying things down there, and that have yet to be discovered. But I want to see them.
Think about the anglerfish, you know, with like that big ass jaw and
like
the bioluminescence light. Yeah, and then the, you know,
they said that's one's been around forever.
Yeah, and some of those creatures, they don't know how actually long they live. You know, they don't know.
Could have been back when the dinosaurs were alive because they're underwater.
Some of those fish could have just been down there for hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah, I mean, lobsters are one of those creatures. They don't actually know the lifespan. Like, they have an idea, but lobsters can live for such a long time. You know, so it's weird when it comes to sea life. I mean, sea life is its own aliens. They look like what? I mean, if you look at movies based on aliens and stuff, a lot of them have aquatic kind of features and stuff, you know.
Here's the thing. You think some of the alien life forms back then brought some of these down here?
Oh, for sure.
Some of them,
also, now think about this. It doesn't have to be something bringing it down. What if a meteor crashes and it has some of these some of these like bacteria or some of these like microscopic
that killed the dinosaurs,
but it had those microscopic things that became those, and that's technically an alien at that point. It wasn't born on Earth.
Time Earth reset itself. It's like, you're done. Time to get you off.
We might be in the middle of a reset, but there was definitely some other ones that were a little bit of a harder reset. It's like when you power off your computer and it turned it back on, and it's like, hey, you restarted improperly last time. Do you want to restore? You know, it's like, no, let's just keep going.
Just keep going. We don't care. But yeah, that brings an interesting question. You've from other, I know there's other worlds out there that would brought their form of species down here because their planet was dying.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I think too. All these weird creatures, even in the Amazon.
Oh, I mean, and they're always finding something new out there. Some new bird or some new frog or some new insect, you know. And insects, that's another thing where like there's some insects that look really terrifying. Like they shouldn't be from this earth, you know.
The big earthworm, the big centipede.
Ooh. What's it called? Oh man. I'm trying to think.
That's all right.
There's a certain moth, and I think it might be like a lunar moth or something like that. But one of them, it literally has like these like tentacle like things that it waves as it's like posted up on this thing, and it looks like these like weird tentacles are coming out of the back of this, you know, flying moth, and it's a fuzzy moth too. So it looks really creepy as you're having. Oarfish are another thing that's really intense, you know.
See, we talk about anything here, guys.
Oh, we'll talk about
unexplained,
all kinds of stuff.
Weird stuff, odd stuff, oddities, aliens, skinwalkers, UFOs, you name it. We do it. Oh, no. I don't know why it's working on the computer. It's all right.
No, we got it up on the phones on here. You know, it's no big deal.
Anybody else got some questions? Anything else you want us to talk about? And we'll try to explain. Now I think about it. I know it's another theory, but like the Alaskan Triangle and the Bermuda Triangle is where they bring in these, or it's a portal.
When it could be a very powerful portal, and that's why it has that like gravitational field and stuff.
Talk about moths. Do you believe in a Mothman? We talked about this.
We did talk about this a little bit, but yeah,
it's an interdimensional being.
Yeah, and that's another one of those ones where that the Mothman seems like something that it doesn't have to abide by our laws of physics. Yeah.
So the West Virginia, the bridge collapsing.
And then it appeared in Ohio.
And appeared in Ohio right across from that bridge. And also appeared in Russia before the Chernobyl disaster.
Yep. And it's been cited in Chicago recently, and Chicago has a number of issues that have happened out there. So yeah, it did pop up in a recent news in Chicago area. The Mothman is really interesting because it's tied as an omen. It's almost tied as like a messenger to send like a signal of like, hey, something bad is going to happen.
Just like the Reaper is to you're gonna.
Yeah, just like the Reaper would be to like, hey, you're about to pass away. You know,
it's like, okay, been a good run. Let's go.
Thanks for the memories. You know,
thanks for the heads up too. Yeah, so that was a good one. Yeah, that was my because we talked about favorite cryptids, and that was my favorite because it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, it doesn't have to apply to the normal realm of physics and animals and our planet. It's interdimensional being.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that like science would say that that's not possible, but science would also say there's theories that say it might be a possibility,
or come from another realm, and just it's like a warning.
Yeah,
A disaster is about to happen. And one of them, I think, not it. Some people saw it and they got out of the mines. I forget where it was, and there was no casualties.
Yeah, that was one of the ones where people actually
saw it,
and they
saw
it. And they're
gone.
Like, nope, we're done.
We're
and
done.
Like they left, and then all of a sudden those mines collapsed in. So that's where it gets the idea of being a creature that is meant to be an omen. You know, there's no questions right now. It's late enough. I'm going to get cracking on this sigil writing lesson.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so a sigil is a very easy thing to produce. It just takes time because the thing that people don't understand is you have to charge it. You have to charge the symbol before you dispose of it so that it has that energy, because that's what a lot of this is about. It's about energy and stuff. So how I'll start is I actually have a notebook that I usually start my sigils in. And then what I'll do is I'll create the sigil here. Then I'll transfer it in the ink to the parchment paper and stuff so you guys can see it there. I'll show you guys the final sigil, and then Chris and I will put our intention into it and try to charge that, and then we'll burn it and everything. Yes. So let me go ahead and get started. For the sake of this right now, let's say for the sigil,
the future.
Prosperity for the future.
Prosperity, or well, you want to leave it a little short because I don't know.
No, that's what happens is a sigil isn't something that's what the sigil writing process is. You know, you pull the repetitive letters.
I'm still learning, guys.
He's still learning, you know. So we're going to choose prosperity for the future. So what you do on a sigil is you then write out the full intention and everything.
We got 5 people. Yeah, this is very interesting, guys. Just Tylor will tell you all about it. I'm still learning.
So, okay,
but I find it very interesting.
After you write out the intention, and after you go through that, do we have a better pen? Oh, much better. Okay, so you write out the whole thing. Now, the first thing you're gonna do, immediately remove all vowels. No vowels in sigil writing. That's one of the things is you immediately remove all the vowels.
Yes.
Then you remove all repeating letters. So you only want to have one representation of each letter, okay? So I'm going to go through, remove all repeating letters. Which leaves us with a P, an R, an S, a T, a Y. Y is not a vowel, right? Y is not a vowel.
Some may consider it, but no,
I don't think it's actually a vowel yet. In sigil writing, it is. In sigil writing, Y does exist. So even if it is somewhere considered a vowel, it's not in sigil writing.
No.
And then an H. So an F and an H after that. So it's going to resemble a magical symbol to you. Yes. So you want to arrange those into something your mind recognizes as a magical symbol. And that could be different to other people. I know people who write very serious and like sharp sigils. I know people who write funny sigils because that's how they're my words and everything like that.
Depends on what your mind
It's all about your own mind and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to write this out real quick because I have my own style already, so it doesn't take me too long to write out.
This is exciting, your mom says. And Ed says, I'm liking this. So we're teaching them something.
And that's what I want to do.
Yes, this is why we want to share our knowledge with you guys if you don't know this. And like I said, I'm still learning. We had a couple of great sigils before this all started that has probably much protected us from negative.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
And that's the one I really relate to right now because it has protected us from all, even with the outside world, what's going on, it's protected us from that.
Yeah.
Because I think...
Okay, I have it ready.
Go for it.
So, move around real quick.
Oh, yep, he's moving out. He's going to show you guys. Give him a moment.
Yeah, I'm using ink, so I'll be back in to talk about it.
Yep, he's got to get something to protect the fabric we have on the table.
I'm going to get a piece of cardboard since I'm using ink, so I don't have to ruin a table, because the ink I'm using, this is actually a dragon blood ink. Now, it's not the real blood of a dragon, but dragon's blood, if you look into that, it's actually a real thing. It's a dragon blood ink, so it's going to come up in a red. I've got that for that.
Yes.
Here is a piece of parchment paper. I really like the parchment paper when I'm trying to do a... I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I really like the parchment paper when I'm trying to do a very intense sigil. Like we did a cleansing not too long ago.
Yes, we did.
At the beginning of the past month for the household, and we did a couple sigils on this parchment paper.
Yep.
So that was a really good night for
Excuse
us.
me, guys.
So I'm going to put that here, and I know you might not be able to see it the best. Actually, you know what? I'm about to do a little bit better here. So put this here. Just so you guys can see as I'm doing this. I'm just going to scoot this back a little bit.
That's fine. Right there is good.
All right. So, just to show you.
Yep, go up there in the camera. He'll show you what the symbol...
I'm sorry.
It's a little hard, but...
I broke down the phrase, broke it down without the vowels, and then I put it into a symbol right here. Now, this is a small version, but I'm going to transfer that to the paper, so you guys are going to see that on the paper and everything. So don't worry, you know.
I think I'm lagging.
So I'm going to start that P. Then I'm going to go into that R.
I have to restart my phone. My phone's acting weird. I want to see if there's any comments on your phone, sir, while you're doing that. Something weird about the comments tonight. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was acting weird on the computer, so I'm getting that R in there real quick and making sure really get represented.
Yeah, we're not lagging, so we're good. That's pretty good. They can see some of it while you're doing that.
Good.
Because I'm watching it on the... Every time you move your arm, you can see what you're doing to a point.
Good. So I got the S in there. Get that T represented. Then I'm going to get the Y. I'm going to get the F. And then lastly, the H.
You can see some, your mom says. That's good.
Well, I'm about to show it to you guys here in a second.
He's almost done. He's just finishing up now.
And that, my friends, is
this
is my own style.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's fine.
This is a sigil. So this is prosperity for the future for us and everything. I have a very basic sigil writing style. There are some people who are very artsy, more complex with how they do it. This is my own way I've come about it to combine letters and do my own mix. So yeah, this is a prosperity for the future sigil brought to you guys by us, so hopefully you enjoy that. I'm going to leave that here and then we'll go back to that in a minute.
Yes.
But I really appreciate you guys hanging in for that part. I've been into sigil writing for a little bit. I do believe it has been beneficial for me. I've found some results through
the last couple months have been beneficial.
Yeah.
Especially like I talk about the negative. They protect, I think, because these times are scary times. What I talk about, I wouldn't have never gone to a hospital for a cough.
Yeah.
I think that protected me. And yes, bronchitis is not fun, but at least it's not the virus. And I think that sigil had something to do with it. It protected us. It's protecting us now still to this day.
And it's something that if you look, sigil writing isn't particular to one thing. It pops up in lots of different things and different cultures and stuff. So this is just, like I said, my own version.
You can put it over here if you want, so it's not in front of your face.
Put it right there.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I can't see the screen as much, but I'm not looking at the comments too much there anyways right now, so it's no big deal.
Your mom says very cool.
Actually, you know what? I need to put this back over here anyways. So.
Yep.
This guy reads.
Yeah, we'll put it right there. You can still see it. Yep.
Cool. So yeah. Hopefully you guys got some knowledge into that. If you need to go back and see how I did the steps of that, you can look it up online. You can look up sigil writing. It'll take you through those same steps, or just go back, rewatch the video later, and just come to this point. It's I would say probably start at what the 50 minute mark. The 50 minute mark. Yeah, the 50 minute mark is about where I started doing all that, going through the steps and stuff, and you can kind of skip through it as you need to. But that's our produced sigil. And we'll go ahead, like I said, we'll do a charge on that and get that burn off at some point. If anybody's got any questions, though,
any questions about what he just did?
Anything about that? Why I would go into something like that? I think it's important to explore all aspects of spirituality, and I explore magic a little bit because I feel like there is a general magic to the whole world. And if you've ever been on a really good hike at 8 o'clock in the morning, the wildlife is interacting a little bit and you're kind of out there alone, it's really nice to you kind of feel the magic of the world in a moment like that.
Well, we're talking around the spiritual realm. I remember, I don't know if anybody was here before, read a part from what Carl Johnson uses. You can look him up. He's a very popular demonologist on that farmhouse in Rhode Island where The Conjuring is based out of. He talks about that a lot. But he's used this. I mean, I already read one passage. He uses this called the armor of God. So I'm going to read a little bit of it. Since he did a sigil, I'm going to do this. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place. That's very powerful
protection. So look up the armor of God if you ever want to pull that up again.
I forget what verse. I keep forgetting to tell you what Bible verse it, but the thing is the armor of God, and test the spirits is the other one. But we'll get to that in later days. But I'm reading you each portion of it. That was the second portion of the armor of God, because I read the first one on an earlier episode because I think it was a very powerful message.
Yeah.
See, we're talking about spirituality. He did his sigils. I have an open mind. And that's another thing that Carl Johnson uses a lot in his investigation.
I have a much respect for Carl Johnson. He is one of the most studied and most influential demonologists that's ever been out there. He has inspired many investigators. He has worked with many investigators. He has written books. He's been in some of the most popular things you've ever heard about. He is a character in horror movies and you didn't even know it sometimes. Yeah. So just look into Carl Johnson sometime and maybe pick up a book of his or something. I definitely am going to be grabbing one of his. I can't think of the title of it, but I'll have it here for the table soon. So we'll talk about it, so don't worry about that, guys. But hopefully, like I said, that sigil writing was something that at least made you be a little bit more open-minded to something or think a little bit different thing than you ever have, because some people have never even heard of a sigil, and it's something that has been practiced for longer than Christianity. So
when you're doing this, I remember telling you, we had a conversation, how closed-minded I used to be about all this.
Yeah. Well, and it's a lot of people.
Between you, even my wife, because she likes the witchy stuff, magic and stuff like that.
She is very much a practice
She's
Wiccan.
Into the witchy shit.
Yeah, she's a practice Wiccan.
Yeah.
She's actually taught me some stuff, and I consider myself not like an expert in any sense, but I consider myself well-versed in a lot of different topics in that, and she's schooled me more than once. She's made me look very silly.
Not all witches are evil, thank you. Don't burn them at the stake.
But we probably should still burn them all at the stake because, just to get it out of the way.
The evil one says,
no, just all of them, just to get it out of the way. But anyways, guys, we're being silly.
All joking aside.
So hopefully that was some kind of insight. I have a couple of different Christian elements I use for my practices and stuff. White light meditation, it's something more than just a Christian thing, but there are people who imagine for archangels watching over them as they do their meditation, and that is a protective way for some people. Yes. Your mind has to respect it as a protective element. So when I'm doing mine, I picture the white light casting over me, and I might create my own 4-pillar system to protect myself.
Or the chakras.
Yeah. I mean,
Buddhism, yeah.
And Chris was talking a little bit about his book and about like some of the things he does. Yeah, go ahead. I do the same. I have a journal of my own, and in mine, I actually write out this one right here on the back. This is actually a banishing ritual I've written out, and I'm not going to show you the whole details of that because it's actually my own personal one, but like. Lots of different researches for defenses, for banishings, for all kinds of things like that. I have documented different times. Like one of the things is a tarot reading I did for myself. I document that kind of stuff and all kinds of little things like that. I document when him and I do a blessing for the household and stuff. So if you're going to do stuff, no matter what you're doing, keep a journal because.
Even before we go on investigations, we do a blessing with stones and stuff.
Yep. So just keep a journal of some sorts. It really helps you keep informed. Then you go look back at something, or you already know something's in your journal, and you can just go right there and reference it there. So it's a nice thing to have when you're out exploring and when you're out doing investigations and stuff.
Go ahead, and guys, if you have any questions, we're still live. I don't know if you're having problems with Facebook, let us know. Because we're having problems on the messenger end. There's a lot. Let's see if it's working now. Oh, here we go. Oh,
that's all caught up there, I guess, now. So
this one
looking good there. So
yep. We just like to make sure we're giving you guys a good show and not lagging because we don't want to give you that.
If we're cutting in and out, it's definitely not a good show for everybody, No. And also, too, if anybody's interested, we wouldn't mind taking a call and actually having somebody live interacting with us, and we did it on Sunday, and it worked out really well, and it was a fun story that my mom gave me. Hope we were in there in the comments, if you guys interact with her. But
your mom says so far good here.
Good.
Okay, that's good. So Tyler's mom, I know you have a lot of stories. If you want to share another story, we'll read it off here tonight for you.
Oh, Cody Ray, he said that Carl is a nice guy, one of the first generation TAPS investigators. Yeah. So he knows Carl Johnson and everything.
Oh yeah, he
so.
was. That's right. That's where I seen. Okay. I didn't get that in. See,
so Carl Ray gets it. He definitely knows what's going on there.
Sorry if we couldn't get to the comment late earlier. The comments are coming on.
Yeah, the comments are coming out kind of weird, wonky, and everything. I've been bouncing back and forth. Like I said, we're doing this. You know, we got different things going on, so sometimes it's hard to pick up some of that. But Cody, if you got any questions for us, if you've got any stories to share, we wouldn't mind sharing a story with you. Like we mentioned earlier, you know, we wouldn't mind having a call with somebody tonight. You know, it's got to talk to me on my phone, but it's not really anything crazy. So just anything like that. We did a sigil writing earlier, and then Chris read a small part of a prayer, which actually Carl Johnson used, which you would probably be familiar with and everything like that, the armor of God. So, you know, we're just having a lot of interactions. We were talking cryptids earlier. So definitely, if anybody has anything out there you want to talk about, let us know.
Hello from Taps. That's what he said, too.
Yeah.
Wow. We appreciate your, wow, from Taps. I used to watch that all the time.
So, yeah.
Ghost Hunters is where I started.
And that's what we were talking about much earlier in the episode. So definitely thanks for checking out, man. Again, if anybody's got anything, just pop it into the comment section. Any stories, whatnot.
Reset my phone again.
I popped it back out too. Let's get this knocked out real quick, okay? So, Chris, what you got to do? You got to look at this intention, or look at this sigil with intention. Really take the whole object, see it in your mind. Close your eyes, and as you close your eyes, you're going to want to clear your mind and project that symbol outwards. Now, about that symbol and think about your mind projecting it out into the universe, just rocketing it out into the universe. So take a second, really try to clear your mind real quick. You know, take a couple really big, deep breaths, then stare at this, and then do that. So, and then I'll do the same. We'll burn that off, and we will do that sigil for the night for you guys on the live stream. So, and I will get the thing ready to burn that off because. All right, sir, and I will do the same here.
Now, all these steps are very important.
And usually you want to put much more. You want to actually sit down, meditate for a period of time, really think about this. There's sex magic, which actually uses sigils, and using the act of the orgasm to be the clear moment to project that. That's a real thing that has happened, you know, like drawing sigils on each other during your lovemaking and whatnot. That's something for the late show.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into a whole lot of that kind of stuff. But
great. The Cody's like love jumping on the random live paranormal bills. Thanks for watching the old show. New season of our show, Ghost Nation, starts at April 22nd.
All right. And I know it sounds terrible or it feels terrible to destroy that piece of artwork we made, but you got to burn it off. You got to get that. That's part of this whole process and everything. So let me get that. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I said, looking forward to the new Ghost Nation, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
We appreciate
so
all
much,
of you.
We really appreciate all that.
I mean, that means
now we have a sigil burning.
Yeah, we have our sigil burning.
And this was something It was prosperity for the future for us as a show and as just us investigators. You know, we've been doing tarot readings for our episodes, and we've also wanted to teach things as we're going along. So now we did a sigil writing. You could check earlier, and we're burning said sigil. So that's what's going on. We're not just random arsonists.
Nope.
We're
awesome.
safe.
We're safe.
Yeah. So this is what's happening right now.
This is a very important step, like he said. Important part of many steps. Excuse me. Do it a sigil. There's real life there, folks. I apologize if I burped in the mic.
People are allowed to burp. So yeah, projecting it into the universe, burning it off, not letting it dwell. You know, that's a big part, is to get rid of it, because you can't sit there and stare at that sigil, because that doesn't give it that power, you know. In chaos magic, there's a lot of different practices, and sigil writing is one of the bigger ones. So I'm glad that I could talk about that with you guys, and that we could go over that. You see a burning there? The Burning Man. No, the Burning
Hey,
Sigil.
Cody, if you don't got a YouTube, go out and check it out on YouTube as well.
Yeah, check out our YouTube. We actually put up a best of last week's clips. We have tons of our investigations on there. Squire's Castle. We have a little bit of what we did at the daytime at Mansfield Reformatory.
Yep.
We've been out to Helltown.
We got a couple investigations in the back burner.
Gore Orphanage. We have all kinds of stuff, you know, Everett Road Covered Bridge, all those different haunts around our location.
He says, going to give you guys a follow. Feel free to send me a message anytime. Great job, guys. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you so much, dude. And thanks for everybody joining us. You know,
thank you.
We love the interactions.
This is what we want to do. We want to share to the world.
If anybody has a story, while I'm just letting this burn off real quick, the only reason I'm standing here is because I don't want it to, like, maybe spill out and mess up our table. So I'm just making sure it completely burns out. I'm going to put it out, take care of that, and get that cleared off, you know. So it's almost done. So hopefully that was somewhat an educational experience. You know, sigil writing is something that is a practice I do. And it's something that I have had ones. When my daughter was born, I wrote one for her. Before my children were born, I actually wrote one to have healthy children, and both my children were born very healthy. You know, I'm very lucky for that.
And the next one will be a boy.
Exactly, my son. I wrote one for him as well, and I did write a sigil to actually ensure that he would be a boy. He did come out a boy, because I had a daughter. I wanted a daughter and a son. I wanted to raise both, you know, and actually get that experience. So. You know, somebody would say, like, oh, that's just happenstance, that just happened. But I did write sigils for these things to happen, and they did happen. So that's why I truly believe in this practice, and that's why I still practice this. And it's something that it brings me comfort.
Or that if someone else was listening. You never know. Any spirit guide or whatever, put a big word up and up there, whatever else is out there, the spiritual world.
Well, and the way I look at it, if you're thinking about, like, the ancestors, if you're thinking about, you know, deities, demigods, anything like that, if they see somebody putting forth the effort to go into a practice, actually, like, really sit down and put that effort forth, then it's not just and I don't want to knock prayer, because I do actually pray, but it's not just some words.
There's many forms,
asleep, you know?
There's many forms.
Yeah.
We're not trying to say, hey, do this. We're just this is our experiences, and we're not trying to push off any beliefs, because we have an open mind.
Yeah, we only want to talk about all these different things because they all relate to the things we do and to what's going on, you know? So, yeah, there we go. That was a live sigil writing and burning right here for you guys, you know? I wanted to do that earlier, but I'm glad we did it now. I'm glad you guys, and hopefully everybody watching, you guys got some enjoyment and you got some kind of lesson from that, because, like I said, it's a practice that I really enjoy, you know. So thank you so much, guys. I'm glad you guys were a part of that.
Your mom says she wants to learn more about spirit guides.
I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to learn
we're trying
more
to do
about
that too.
Not just ancestral spirit guides, but like natural, like nature spirit guides.
I do believe
animal guides and things of that.
I believe Tyler's mom, that Mike Ricksecker from Haunted Road Media, does go into that, but you might have to go in the backlog on his YouTube videos
Yeah, we love Mike Ricksecker over here. Him much more. He actually has turned me on to him, and I love him just because his book gave me some clarity to a situation I had dealt with.
He has many other books as well, and his experiences, his knowledge. I just want to kind of experience that.
You want to download his brain, you know?
Yeah, I want to download his brain because you're right. Joe's watching now. Welcome back, Joe.
Welcome back, Joe.
Yeah, I'm Tyler's mom. We're still learning about that. I know we talk about it. Kind of. This is our theories. Mike Ricksecker does talk a lot about in his YouTube channel on Haunted Road Media probably on Facebook and YouTube. He's got a lot of videos. If you want to learn about something, I'm sure he has it in his video playlist. He's got them separated in different kind of categories and stuff and whatnot, which we're trying to do on our YouTube page as well.
Yeah, we're trying to get things organized as we go along for sure.
Because we're going to have a lot of videos.
Yeah, and we want to make sure we're separating the investigations from the live shows and things of that nature. And who knows what's going down the pipeline. We have a lot of ideas. Even some of them that are maybe not the typical stuff for something like this, but we're always trying to think of new ideas and things that can make our experience and our interactions with you guys better too, Yeah,
like you said.
Like that sigil writing, to me, that was something I really wanted to do because I enjoy I've written dozens of sigils, and I really enjoy that practice. And to share that with you guys, that was actually a really big moment for me. And I'm just glad that I got to share that with you guys, you know?
Your mom says, great. You're welcome.
Thanks, Joe. We're just glad you're hanging out with us,
Yeah, Joe. Thanks for joining us. You've been a big part of this too.
Yeah. We always like that, the people who are consistently popping in and out and interacting with us,
And sharing our stuff.
Yeah.
Anybody
who shares, share with your people, you can share away. We definitely appreciate that.
We appreciate that a lot.
Hopefully that brings in more people for us to interact with and talk with. Again, we'll mention again, if anybody has a story they want to toss out, if anybody wants to call in for a story, we can definitely take a call. As long as you're okay with me having your number, I'll delete it right after we're on the call. I have no reasons of contacting anybody, but I would love to have another story like that. I would definitely love to have a live interaction like that again, because that was really fun on Sunday night.
That was.
If anybody has any questions for us, just let us know.
My stories.
We've been asking some questions as we go along. One of the questions we asked earlier, we didn't get a ton of responses, but if you guys want to try to take a whack at this again, somebody or some show maybe that inspired you to look into paranormal or to look into things of that nature, because we talked about a little bit.
What
of
shows
our
do you guys watch?
Unsolved Mysteries was always a big one for a lot of people. Then you get into the different Ghost Hunters International, the Ghost Nation and stuff like that. All those different kinds of stuff. There was older shows. I can't think of what that show where they would have people go live from locations and they would have them do weird things on location. One, they had a guy push over a cross or something, and then all of a sudden everything started to go crazy. Those shows were always kind of a little fabricated, but they were interesting to see.
What was your favorite? What got you started? What was one of your favorite episodes on whatever your favorite was? And we appreciate that, Joe. I don't think we're on Twitter. You on Twitter?
No, but he can share it to Twitter.
You can still
come to here. Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. We appreciate that.
Thanks, Joe. We haven't thrown out a Twitter yet, but it's something we could easily do. The only thing is we try to make sure we don't spread ourselves so thin.
Twitter
can get really weird because Twitter is just people throwing blurbs at each other sometimes.
But you could go ahead and share.
Thank you so much.
We give you permission.
Anywhere you share, you have no need for permission. You can share it to whatever platform you want to.
Share away.
You can share it to Pornhub if you want to. I don't care. If somebody wants to come and not watch porn and come watch us, they can do that too.
It's Quarantine Hub now.
It's Quarantine Hub. Yeah, they gave everybody free subscriptions, so everybody's hanging out there.
Quarantine Hub.
Heck, we might as well just go start live streaming there. I'm kidding.
Anyway,
but no, getting back to everything. We want to make sure that we have a lot of those interactions and we're focusing on a lot of different things.
Yeah. What favorite episode of your TV series that will make you go, whoa?
Oh man,
I know this is a good question because I've been meaning to ask this.
Ooh, Well, one of the big ones is when
Joe says he remembers watching Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, Unsolved
who
Mysteries
hasn't?
was amazing. I'm actually going back and rewatching old Unsolved Mysteries right now. One of the big ones for me, I think it was Expedition Unknown. It's where they go into they're talking about like the Naga fireballs and like the Naga, the serpent creatures and stuff. That was always one of my favorites because I love serpentine creatures. I love serpent creatures like really, really much.
You really loved your cryptids. You started getting me into more.
When it's a big deal for me, and also too, I can't think of the exact episode, and I'm gonna hate myself. Where is the Ghost Hunters episode where they had the shadow figure run on that like walkway?
That was the St. Augustine Tower.
St. Augustine Tower,
Florida.
Yep, St. Augustine Tower. That's one of my favorite episodes of Ghost Hunter ever.
That freaked me out. And I'm like, whoa!
Yeah. Oh, dude, I definitely love that one.
Why did we mention that? Because that would be awesome to investigate.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Not just the lighthouse, just
those are a couple of my favorite episodes from things.
It's funny because you mentioned that too, but I love this. That was my favorite. But there was another one from Ghost Hunters where that weird shadow came up in the prison. It was real early episodes. I forget which prison it was. That they weren't around. Something came walking up and walked back out.
I remember that one too.
That was between that prison one and that St. Augustine one. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. No, definitely. Wow. Definitely a big one as I was younger that got me into looking into these kind of things,
So, hey, since we're on the question and Joe is here and your mom's still here, what is your reality? I would call it reality. What would you call it? TV series that got you interested in any paranormal or unexplained stuff.
Yeah.
And thank you, Joe. You can share all our YouTubes on your Twitter. That I much appreciated, sir. That was see, I love it because I was thinking the same thing when you made it. Like, oh, I know that one. That one's always been in my mind. That and that prison one.
Oh, no, and those are two of the biggest episodes they ever did, for sure.
God, yes. Love it.
And then there was an episode of International where they were in, I think, Ireland.
I really didn't get into the International at the time.
Well, they were in Ireland for one of them, and they heard a banshee scream. What they think was a banshee scream. So that was always intriguing to me.
That's why I want to go to Ireland. Dude. So we still got most likely your mom's still here, Joe's still, and joined us again.
So what do you think? Like another probably half hour, we'll probably do another show of, or?
I mean, if you want to go ahead and cut off the live feed and still continue with the Facebook.
Okay, we're going to cut us off on the YouTube real quick and then come back on the Facebook, okay? I mean, we're not going anywhere on the Facebook, but we're just going to be only on the Facebook. Oh, me on the stream. Anybody on YouTube? Bye, guys.
Bye, guys, on YouTube.
We'll do the bonus show.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.